KREM 2 News 10 at 10 begins now with Mark Hanrahan and Jeremy Legoo.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. New tonight, Spokane City Council passed a resolution opposing an initiative that would repeal the state's Climate Commitment Act. It was proposed by council members Zach Sapone, Paul Dillon, and Kitty Klitsky, who say Initiative 2117 will put millions of dollars in funding at risk for climate-related programs across the city, including finishing the North-South Corridor, Division Street Bus Rapid Transit, and youth free ride programs. Meantime, supporters of 2117, such as Jonathan Bingle, say it has created a hidden gas tax that has increased the cost at the pump in Washington.
So for me, I'm not going to be supporting it because I think the Climate Commitment Act is not a good way for us to actually attack climate change. I think it's a way for us to get money from the people, and then even the language in here I feel like is again, borders on extortion.
I think there's always data to support arguments. One with gas taxes higher, lower, WSDOT, what will happen in the future, maybe not going forward, but it's a resolution in our support for the benefits we believe are good for the city.
Council ultimately passed that resolution 5-2 with Bingle and Michael Cathcart opposing it. But what is Initiative 2117 and why has it gained so much controversy here in Washington? KREM 2's Whitney Ward explains what you'll be seeing on next week's ballot.
Initiative 2117 would repeal the Climate Commitment Act, a state law that provided for a cap and invest program designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 95%. Supporters say the tax is what's making Washington's price of living the highest in the nation alongside California. Opponents say the program is the true solution to lower transportation costs by getting the state off of fossil fuels. So, a yes vote on I-2117 means eliminating the Climate Commitment Act, while a no vote will keep it in place.
Meantime, one of the most contentious issues on Idaho's ballot is voting yes or no on Proposition 1. If passed, the initiative would repeal the state's partisan primary system and replace it with a top 4 primary system. That means all candidates seeking an office will appear on one ballot, and the top 4 vote earners advance to the general election. KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley spoke with Idahoans today on both sides of the issue.
I'm outside the Kootenai County Elections Office where these Idaho voters are taking advantage of early voting right now. And one of the things that they'll have to decide is whether or not to vote yes or no on Idaho's Proposition 1.
Supporters of Idaho's Proposition 1 say the ranked choice vote system will broaden voter access to participate in elections.
A major benefit of Proposition 1 and the top 4 open primary is that voters would be able to vote for the person and not always the party, so they could choose to support the Republican they really like for the governor's race. They could choose to support an independent in their local legislature.
But those who oppose the initiative believe the current election system should remain in place because it is clear and transparent.
Right now, we have a system that is very fair because we have guaranteed ballot access for 4 political parties and independent voters. This completely tosses that notion out.
Idahoans for Open Primaries is a political action committee supporting the measure. The Idaho Secretary of State's website shows it's received about $4.5 million of out-of-state contributions and a little more than $1 million of in-state contributions.
So based on those numbers, do you think it's fair to call this measure an Idahoan initiative?
From day one, Proposition 1 has been an Idaho homegrown campaign, and we've raised donations from over 5,000 individual Idaho donors representing all 44 counties in the state.
Still, the opposing side says there is too much at stake.
If this were to come into place, we would completely and radically change our entire election system, both primary and general. We would essentially erase the ability for counties to run their own elections, and we would be subject to the whims of outside, very wealthy political organizations who want to change the way we do elections here in Idaho.
In Coeur d'Alene, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
For more information on the general election, just text us the word elections to our number 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link right to your phone with all the information you need to know. Meantime, hundreds of ballots were damaged after someone lit ballot boxes on fire in Vancouver, Washington, and Portland this morning. Police say the fires are connected, and they were able to identify the suspect's car. In Portland, police say an incendiary device was put in a ballot box overnight. You can see the hole burn through the side of it. The Portland Police Explosives Disposal Unit removed the device.
I wish I was more surprised by something like this than I am, because right now it just seems so precarious.
In eastern Washington and in Idaho, there have been no reports of ballot boxes catching fire. New details tonight on the brutal Falls City murders. A King County judge will allow a private forensic investigator hired by the defense to enter the home where 5 people, all part of the same family, were shot and killed. The ruling came down this afternoon after a petition was filed by lawyers for the 15-year-old teen accused of killing his family. 5 members of the same family, including 2 parents, Sarah and Mark Humiston, and 3 children ages 7, 9, and 13, were found shot to death 1 week ago. 1 sibling survived and ran to a neighbor's home for help. New tonight, U.S. Fish and Wildlife offering a reward for information on 2 illegal gray wolf killings here in Washington. According to Fish and Wildlife, 1 was found dead in Klickitat County near the U.S. Highway 142 and Goldendale back on October 6th. And just a few weeks later, another wolf was found dead southwest of Twisp in Okanagan County, October 20th. Fish and Wildlife is offering a $10,000 reward for any information on the killings. That number to call is right there at the bottom of your screen, 1-844-FSW-TIPS. Heads up for drivers. Spokane County officials are holding a ribbon-cutting ceremony after wrapping up construction on Bigelow Gulch and Forker roads. Over the course of summer, crews have been widening shoulders and turning lanes, along with removing several curves to make it safer for drivers. That ceremony is happening at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, let's switch gears for a moment and take a first look at the forecast with meteorologist Cody Proctor in for Jeremy tonight. Cody, fall is the season of change, and right now it certainly feels like that.
Oh, all sorts of changes, Mark. We felt it with the temperatures, even compared to this last weekend where Saturday was so nice. Yesterday, maybe a little less so. It was a little gloomy outside at times. But tonight and today, we saw some clearer conditions outside. Beautiful earlier this afternoon. Over at the Spokane airport, we're at 41 degrees right now. Winds are coming out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour at this time. Across much of our region, it's chilly outside, mostly in those 30s to 40s. Certainly felt it when I was walking back from my car into the station earlier this evening. Our wind chills are also starting to be felt outside. We've had some light winds, and that just makes it feel a little bit chillier outside for some of us. So just be prepared for that. As we head into the next few days, we're looking at some dry conditions tomorrow, but this system right here could be bringing us some wet weather, especially for your Halloween activities. So keeping a close eye on the timing of that. Next 12 hours, though, we're looking to see those temperatures mostly down into the mid-30s, fairly quiet as we head into tomorrow morning. For the next 3 days, we could see some fog tomorrow morning, but again, Thursday is the one that could really bring some change for your Halloween forecast.
All right, sounds good, Cody. We'll check back in with you later in the show. Now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students is trying to take the possibility of the death penalty off the table. Brian Koberger's defense team filed several motions on Friday, including one to strike the state's intent to seek the death penalty. Koberger's team claims the death penalty is unconstitutional. A judge is scheduled to hear death penalty arguments coming up on November 7th. And tonight, a WashDOT worker is in surgery or went to surgery after being hit by a car near Meade. According to WSP, a WashDOT worker was behind his car working on removing 2 dead deer at around 9 this morning when a truck hit the WashDOT car, pinning the worker between the vehicles. The WashDOT employee had to be airlifted to Sacred Heart with, quote, life-altering injuries. Investigators believe the truck driver may have been distracted. The major accident team is now investigating tonight. And Spokane police say 2 men are in a hospital after being shot at Comstock Park early Saturday morning. Spokane police say it happened at around 1 o'clock in the morning. One of the victims reportedly suffered life-threatening injuries. The investigation is still underway. Police say there is no present danger to the public at this time. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.